Good morning. We're going to work on our combine today. We're hopefully going to get it just about done. We'll get everything put back together, and we got fuel filters to change, 2 of those. I'm walking out to the parts shed right now to grab those. Hopefully they're out here. And we might get to polishing today, waxing, ceramic coating, something. We're going to do something. I got some stuff I'll show you. But that's our filters. I talked about this the other day, last winter, when I placed our stock filter order to restock the shelves. This particular fuel filter was back ordered and I couldn't get it, and there was a bunch that were. They kind of trickled in throughout the spring, and I never got these. So when we went to go grab one off the shelf, and we need 4 of them for all the different tractors and combine that use them, I didn't have any. I thought, uh-oh, something's wrong. But dealer had them, they just never made it to us. Look, there's our filters and our Brock. Morning, Brock.
Morning.
You gonna change those? Okay, good deal. All right, well, while Brock works on changing fuel filters, I got out our fluid film sprayer, although it says wool wax, but it's basically the same stuff. And I am coating down the corn head. So I'm spraying all of these gathering chains, the tensioners, the deck plates, the snapping rolls as much as I can, and I'm trying to get the bottom of the auger pan up there, that trough. So this stuff does a couple of things. First and foremost, it's going to stop the rust. And so you'll see our chains and deck plates aren't too bad. There is some surface rust in that auger trough there. This will stop that from spreading, getting any worse. You know, that surface rust is not a big deal. It'll clean up real fast as soon as we start using it next fall. But anyway, so we're doing that. Plus this will lubricate these chains and springs and stuff a little bit and get a little bit of lubrication on them. It's a good thing. So anyway, this sprayer works really well. I don't know how well I can do it with one hand. Yeah, it just kind of flies. But it coats that stuff up pretty good. It's not hard to do once you get it adjusted right. I really like this stuff. It does a good job. I will put a link in the description if I remember where that time of year again when I start using products and you guys, what is that? Where'd you get that? So I'll start throwing some Amazon links in the description of these videos for the fluid film, for the spray gun that I really like. And if you guys want one, click on the link and go buy it. I appreciate it. All right, I got the corn head all coated, done. Brock got our fuel filters changed, and he's going to start greasing. So that's the next step here before we put shields back on, is we've got to grease the entire machine. Every greaser on here is going to get hit. Most of them are 400 hour. There's some 50 hour ones. We don't have 400 hours since the last greasing, but now's the time to do it. So we're going to make sure those all get hit. I got one more spot. I want to put some of this undercoating. Remember where we've been cleaning out inside here? And it gets all rusty. Those pans that you can't see at all because it's too dark, we're going to spray them down. All right, well, we may find some more spots to spray down with some of that fluid film, but for now we're good. I'm going to start putting chains on. My hands are going to get all nasty and dirty. That is what it is. We're going to start with this one. This is the small one that goes on the tailings drive. So our chain goes right there. Brock's working on greasing the slip clutch for this, which they conveniently put on the back side of there where you cannot get to it at all. It's a real pain. But he's getting it. And then we'll put our chain on. This one comes all pre-assembled. And it goes on those sprockets right there. And there's even a picture to show us how it goes. That's helpful. Like so. All right, so I got the routing right. Now we've got to tighten it up. This is the one where they put the tensioner in, also a super easy to get a wrench on spot. Thank goodness we have a gear wrench, but I have that much swing to get it tightened. And we got to tighten it so that the washer here by my finger is even with the step in this gauge that you cannot see very well, but right down to there. So we got an inch or so. We got to thread that down. All right, so I got that tightened down there to the step. Look at that. Look at it. Anyway, we got that tightened up. That one is good to go. Oh, we should move our handle. So obviously the next crop that we're going to harvest is wheat. So we're going to get this all set up for wheat before we put it away. Next up, feeder house drive chain. So that one goes along there. It cannot be in one piece because we have to thread it through here, down under this sprocket, and around the front. So this is actually driven from this shaft that runs across the bottom of the feeder house. This goes over to the reverser on the other side, and it is driving this sprocket, which moves our feeder house in there. Get this wheat off of there. So it is a 2-speed deal. There's 2 different sprockets here. I've never used the bigger one on this combine. You don't change it between beans and or well, I suppose you could between wheat and corn specifically, but I think I just run the low speed on everything, and I've never had a trouble, and so that's the way we do it because it makes it easier. So we're going to get that in there. I'm going to need a 24mm wrench, maybe 2. Okay, there's the feeder house drive chain. This one, you need it tight, but not too tight kind of thing. So it's supposed to ride on this, but not... I think about the right amount of time. That chain will stretch a lot throughout the year, a lot, and so we'll tighten it up. We've got some room left in this. There's like 4 connector links right in a row right there. We could probably take one of those out, move this up to give us more in-season adjustability if needed, but we're going to kind of just leave it and we'll take it out if we need to. They come out fast. So here's the, tension instructions. I'm sure it says in the book exactly how much you're supposed to have, how much deflection, but it's not supposed to be super rigid tight. All right, last one here is the big one. This is the unloading auger chain that goes under here, up there. We'll let Brock get out of the way. So Brock's greasing here, and I've got him going through the book, kind of reading it. And the reason that is important is because, like this one here, vertical unloading auger upper gear case, shows you where the fitting is, but it also says, important, pump 10 shots of grease into fitting. That's it. This one here, variable speed driver shiv. It's actually got a pipe plug in it, so you wouldn't think to grease that if you were just looking for grease zerks. Remove pipe plug, pipe plug, and install grease fitting pump. 40 to 45 shots of grease into it. Do not over, so it gives more detailed instructions than just, oh, there's a grease zerk, let's hit it kind of thing. I had my routing wrong. I was over the top of that sprocket, but we got to go under it. Anyway, we're good there. So now we need to tighten up that tensioner. This one's like the first one where we've got a gauge on the spring. So we've got to get it to this step on that. The washer's got to be at the bottom of that step. So start tightening. And this one, you can't get the closed end of a wrench on, so you gotta do it like this. It's gonna take a minute. About like that. That's how far I had to tighten that with the wrench to get it to tighten up like I want. You getting that figured out up there? He's doing that one where you gotta take the plug out and put a grease zerk in. You got grease on the side of your face. You guys just missed Brock falling off that tire. I was literally pulling my phone out and he fell, and I'm like, what the heck was that? And I didn't catch it. Dang it. I got the chains done. All right, so I suppose we should put this back together. I took it apart when I was doing that concave up there and never put it back, and we need to take these spacers out of the other ones. I never actually did that last year, I guess, because I didn't have to put them in this year when I wanted to, and I checked it, and I'm like, oh, we should put those spacers in. They were already in. But you're supposed to take them out for wheat. It closes that gap up a little bit more, and should do a little better job. I highly doubt it's noticeable, but we're going to take them out because I've already got a third of it done, so let's just finish the job. All right, there's that. So our rotor should be all set up for wheat. I have to shift the transmission, I suppose. Okay, we need to start the combine. There is a grease zerk that's in a pulley, like in the bottom of a groove on a pulley, and it's covered up right now by the belt. So when we start the combine, it'll let that turn. I also want to put the corn head on the floor to check the oil in the oil bath gearbox on the end of the head, and then I want to raise the corn head so we can grease the grease zerks on the slip clutches underneath, and just look underneath the head a little bit more. But we're gonna have it all the way up for that. So, however, Brock just changed fuel filters, and we need to turn the key on like so and let it prime and fill those fuel filters before we try and start it. Otherwise, we'll be cranking for a while. All right, well, there's oil in that gearbox. Safety first, Brock. I said safety first, right? So up underneath here on the back side, where it's still dirty, there is a slip clutch on every row unit with grease zerks on, so we need to hit all of those. Ow, she's still a little dirty. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Just keep telling myself that. Anyway. Okay, so we got that done. We still can't get to that one grease zerk. It's in the bottom of a groove in that pulley, and it's got to be turned just right to get to it. So that belt needs tightened up, so we're going to go through and check tension on some of the belts and condition on the belts, make sure that they're all still in good shape. This one here could use tightened up a little bit. These ones you can't tell unless the chopper's down, and we can't put the chopper down right until we put the sieves and stuff back in, because that piece down there isn't folded up, or we gotta, yeah, so we'll have to check that one later. But yeah, we're just gonna go through and check some of these tensioners. They've all got a gauge on them. This one's just a little bit loose. These ones here for the feeder house chain, just a touch loose, not bad, but let's get those all adjusted and tightened up. You guys, oh, do you know what today is? Today is December 14th. Do you know what happens on December 14th this year? National Corn Growers released their contest entry results. I just got a text from my former agronomist, district manager, regional, whatever, for Golden Harvest that said silver medal, congrats. I'm like, what? Check it out. Check it out. I'm so excited. We're on page 44 of the all entries for the National Corn Growers Yield Contest. This is Michigan Class I conventional irrigated number 2. 12S75 at 281.5891. We got second place. Oh, I'm so excited about that. I had no idea. And look, entry number 2 was 8th. Like, Michigan was way down this year, guys. What the heck happened? But that is awesome. Oh, I'm so excited. Brock, guess what happened, Brock?
What happened?
My National Corn Growers entry?
Yeah.
Second place.
Nice.
I had no idea.
Sweet. That's awesome.
That was lower than last year's dry land, and this one was irrigated, and I got second place. Winner was at 296. So we were off by 15 bushel, but 2 years ago when I was in this contest, in the irrigated division, I got 11th or 12th place or something, and I lost to the winner by over 200 bushel the acre. So we did pretty good. Anyway, that's exciting. That's awesome. I'm so excited about that. We hooked this stuff up. We're going to take the combine out and run it when we get back from lunch. Cleaned up the drive shaft a little bit so it slides easier. Goes on there. Dad offered to take us to lunch. So we're going to lunch. All right, well, Dad took us to lunch. Appreciate that. And we're going to get back to work on this combine here. I want to take it out, and I want to run everything, and I want to drop the corn head because we're done with that, and then bring it back in here, and we're going to try and do the foaming and stuff this afternoon. But we need to clean the floor up first, so we need to get it out. I cannot run it until we put everything back together internally. So Brock's down there. Are you in there, Brock? And he's going to start putting some of these pieces back in, and I'm going to hand him stuff or help as much as I can, I guess. Getting those fingers put back in. The last one's tight because the center ones don't move like they did. So when he gets those done, the next piece to go in is this pre-cleaner. And I noticed a few misaligned fingers, so we're fixing those. When I took this out, a couple of you made a comment about not putting it back in, and I don't know why I wouldn't put this back in. I don't know what the advantage to not running it is. I've seen guys that will have ones that are adjustable so they can close it down. I could see an advantage to that, but taking it out and leaving it out completely would make that worse, not better. I have no reason to leave it out. I have every reason to put it back in because it works. I have no complaints with the performance of the machine running it, so we're going to put it back in. Yeah, this one's a real kind of a pain. There you go. All right, we gotta get these washers up. Can you drop the back side down here? There. Got those washers lined up, so that's sitting in place. Now we just got to get the bolts tightened and bolts put in on the other side there. And I believe there's a couple bolts to go in the back on them black brackets on the side right there. Cool, good work, Brock. I used to have to do this, and then I hired somebody, and now I don't have to do this, and it's awesome. Isn't it?
Oh, this is fantastic.
All right, everything is back in place in there. I sprayed the bed down with some fluid film to try and keep that from getting any worse on the rust there, because the grain needs to be able to slide down there. That's where anything that falls onto that ends up down in that auger, and that auger is what goes up to the grain tank. And so you need the corn and grain to be able to slide down there. Now that's going to shine that up pretty quick, but you don't want it to be all rusty and sticky, rough when we get started. So we did that. I've got these guide rails for the chaffer up out of the way, and we are ready to slide the sieve in, which goes on that bottom guide rail and fits in that lower groove at the front there and bolts in right here. So we gotta go over here and get it. It is this first one. Do we need to do anything to it? I washed these when we were washing shields. We took them outside and power washed them. Got most of the stuff off. There's some little bit of husks or whatever, sticky stuff, or not sticky, but stringy that got caught in there that I couldn't get off real well. Not a big deal. I'm not worried about that. Fingers on this are all in really good shape. Nothing's bent up. Everything looks pretty good. So we'll go slide it in. Uh-oh, we're stuck. Lift your side up. There. Not that you can see because our light fell out. Stick that back in there. Ah, better. Okay, now there's 4 bolts go in these holes. Come on. Strobe light effect. Garbage. Okay, that's better. All right, the other thing, we got to get our electrical connector plugged in there. That's the sensor to tell us what position that the sieve is in, and also provide power to this motor right there to change the sieve from the cab, or next year it's going to be all automatic, all automated. Okay, so that's done. Brock will get those bolts. These come down. Unscrew that, screw there. You go on there and then get tightened up, and then our chaffer will slide in right on those rails. All right, now we're ready for the chaffer. And I wanted to look at this a little bit first. That first row of adjustable fingers is not lined up, so I want to tip it up and look at the back side of it and see if it's out of the groove or something, if we need to fix that, but I don't like it. Well, I bent them up a little bit. This one here is the one that's off, but everything else seems to be at least close enough. We'll be okay. So we can go ahead and slide that one back in. There. That one slides in relatively easily, so we got those fingers that go on here, and then we got the 4 bolts that go in there, those long ones, which we have to find, and there's a cover that goes over this. I'm gonna fold that back up. Yeah. All right, the inside of the combine is all back together, so I think It is capable of being run. Oh, we can put the chopper down now because we got this piece folded back up. So I can put the chopper down and we can check the tension on these belt springs. And we should be able to take it outside and run this thing. And we can clean up our floor and come back in and get her shining. Well, let's go ahead and take her outside. I think we got all the tools off of it. Guess we'll know if something comes flying out the side of the rotor or the whatever. We'll know. Brock got her header cart for us, but we're gonna just go ahead and start it up. So machine first, idle with the door open so we can listen for any weird noises. Dust, we got dust, but it sounds fine. We're gonna close that door a little bit so we don't get quite so much dust in here. Cleaning fan speed, increase or decrease problem. So we can't adjust our cleaning fan speed. Not responding. Okay. Chopper speed problem. Because we got the cord head on. I got it in high speed. What is our... Go to our home page here. There we go. I'm aware it's okay. Chopper speed problem. Cleaning fans on real high speed. Can we adjust it if I push the button? Nope. We better check our plug. That or it's giving me a code that the fuse is bad, so we'll check that. But, all right, let's turn the cord head on. Go back down to idle. Oh yeah. Everything works. Our chains look good. Excellent. Yep, we're in good shape. So we can shut her down and get it unhooked. All right, there's that. Corn head, we got to figure out where we're going to store it. I think we'll probably end up taking it back to Berkey, putting it in the barn down there, because we won't need it until September at least. Although we're not going to have any corn down to Berkey next year, so not that it matters a whole lot. It's a barn and it's easy to get there and back and store it and take it with a pickup. So that's probably what we'll do, but we'll see. Okay. Well, 2 o'clock. We got time. We're gonna polish. So I might try and get this scaffolding out so we can wheel it around and get up to stuff a little bit easier, especially up high. But yeah, we're gonna foam it, get the foam cannon out. We'll wipe it down with rags just to get the grime off of it, rinse it, and then let it dry or towel dry it. And then let's go see what we got in here. These look like my 2 options. We've used this 3-in-1 stuff before. He's always beeping, always. Anyway, that's been pretty good stuff, but I want to try this Turtle X. Is that you? He's going to get out right when I'm trying to make him power wash.
Station 12, Station 13 is requested to be on monitor standby for their area. We got Station 12, Station 13 requested to be on monitor.
Not going to go, he says. He'd rather power wash. That must be a bad call.
No. If I need to go, they just want us to monitor their area.
Oh, okay. All right, we're ready to start washing here. So I was going to set up a time lapse, but then I pushed the button and it started recording on my GoPro. So I'll just let it record for a minute here. Where are we gonna start, Brock? We're gonna start right here on this side. We're gonna foam it. Now my foam is not the foamiest of foams, so it's not gonna stick real well, but have fun, watch. something like that. We need to dry it so we can get water spots, but you get the idea. Brock was washing the auger off up there, wiping it down, rinsing the backside. We're about half done here. Okay, we got it all foamed and wiped and rinsed and washed, and I think we're in pretty good shape here. We did not dry it yet. I was reading. We're going to use this Turtle Wax branded graphene infused Flex Wax BS marketing BS. Yes. Anyway, it says you can spray this on to save time. One step. While wet after washing, rinse, and then spray this on and dry it, and then rinse, and then wipe it. And we're going to do it that way. It says 1 to 2 sprays per panel. You think that'll be enough? I bet there's as much surface area on that one panel as half a car anyway. Let's see. We'll experiment. We'll get back to you. How we doing? How are we doing? She's getting her shine back. So we went through and we sprayed that stuff on and towel dried it with a couple of big cotton bath towels basically. And I mean, those towels get soaked up so they don't get super dry. It doesn't get it real dry. It kind of still wet. You can see we still got a little swirly stuff to it. I think the plan here is to give it a few minutes, let it dry off a little bit more, and then we're going to spray another couple of shots on and use some small microfiber towels to try and buff it out, and we should be good. But overall, yeah, that's not too bad. Well, this stuff, definitely when you look at it from the wrong angle, it doesn't look like it's doing a very good job, leaving it streaky and stuff, but you give it a few minutes, and it kind of fades out and looks really good, actually. I like it. We'll see what kind of protection it gives us, but I like it. Yeah, you look at it from down here, the glare on it, it's not real pretty, but we'll come back out here in 15 minutes and it'll look different. All right, this video's got to be super long right now, but we've got that combine pretty well polished up. Brock's gonna get our corn head put inside here, and we'll tuck it in. Shelf frames. Nice. Oh, I tell you what, cell phones. So we finally completed the switch from Verizon to AT&T. Dad and Phil's phones, they got new phones, both of them. They just came here a couple of days ago, but we were waiting on the cases for them. Those came today, so I have spent the last hour and 15 minutes activating cell phones because, well, they can't make it easy, can they? But anyway, that's done. I'm going home now. Tomorrow we're going to put all the shields back on this sleeves. Yeah. Back on the combine here and try and get it out of here. I don't know if we're going to make it or not, but we're going to try. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, questions, comments, leave them down below. We'll see you again tomorrow.